put forward the motion which calls for parts of John Street and Queen Street West to be renamed Taylor Swift Way during the month of November. The route will link Rogers Centre with Nathan Phillips Square, where the Toronto sign will be lit red for Taylor Swift. McKelvey says it's the city's way to show its appreciation to the international superstar.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the 5 Pints podcast. I'm your host, Jamie AB. So today we're going to be talking about why people are either loving or hating the fact that Justin Trudeau was at the Eras Tour. I think if you see the rest of my videos, you know what my thoughts and opinions are, but I'm about to tell you, okay? I have a good 10 reasons why. We're about to get into it, and I just want to say a disclaimer before we get into this, that normally, if this was 2018 and he was taking his daughter to a Taylor Swift concert, no problem with that, okay? I would have no problem with him taking her. But there are a lot of reasons why I do have a problem with it, and I'll get into my own personal at the end, but stay tuned for that because I'm going to go through why other people might be upset about it, or, you know, have come out and said they're upset about it. And some reasons why I think this was a strategic move on Trudeau's part. Okay, so let's get into it. So I made a list and then I'll elaborate as I go. But number one is Canada's too poor to afford concerts on the regular, and what used to be a fun regular activity for people who are in Southern Ontario has quickly turned into a luxury because people cannot afford tickets that are $500 when groceries are $800 for families. So yeah, people are going to be upset that Trudeau went there probably for free. Okay, he probably went for free. And when people can't afford to see their favorite artists, and you know, the Eras Tour is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I understand this as a fan of music and, you know, fandom and whatever. But people are going to be upset when they see the leader of the country that, despite everybody else telling you guys that this is all the premier's fault, it truly is Justin Trudeau's fault. He has turned our economy upside down. All of these people are taxing us out of the butt. Yes, it's not just the federal government, but, you know, businesses aren't absorbing carbon tax. It's going back on Canadians hardcore. We're at a time where most Canadians are having a hard time even buying groceries. 2 million Canadians are using a food bank right now. So truly this reminded me, because if you went to the Eras Tour, you have to know that either you're doing really well right now and that's great, but a lot of people aren't. Or your parents spent their entire life savings for you to go. Or your life savings to go. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't a cheap event. This was a once in a lifetime opportunity for most people. And Justin Trudeau gets to do so many things that are once in a lifetime opportunity all the time. So seeing him get that for free when her mom could have easily been the one that took her, yeah, it's gonna piss people off. Okay, that's just, it is what it is. It's especially because it seemed like such a publicity stunt to me that I feel like he just keeps using his kids as publicity stunts, and he's even made a comment saying that. Okay, so the next one is, there were riots happening in Canada, in Montreal, while he was at the Eras Tour. Now, I'm already pissed off about him being there, right? So when he doesn't leave the concert, okay, or tweet that night, or make an announcement, a public statement, that's going to annoy the public, okay? Whether or not you are a Justin Trudeau fan, just know that across the world right now, there are hundreds of news stories about Justin Trudeau going to the Eras Tour and ignoring what's going on in Montreal. We are the laughing stock of the world, okay? And whether or not you want to believe that, that is a bad thing. We are about to head into World War III, and Trudeau doesn't have a control over this country whatsoever. So yeah, it's irresponsible. People are like, well, should he have left? Yeah, that's unfortunately the part. That's why her mom should have went. I don't even know how it was safe for him to be there. If I was there, he would have heard a piece of my fucking mind. Okay, like he's so lucky that he's so lucky that he knows most of his supporters are doing really bad right now and wouldn't be able to afford to go to the Taylor Swift concert. Anyways, that, and there's a bunch of 13-year-old girls there. So anyways, number 3 is Toronto renamed streets for Taylor Swift. They removed homeless encampments, made events, paid for decorations and new street signs. Toronto is failing every single day, but somehow literally rolled out the red carpet for Taylor Swift. She didn't even stay in Toronto, you guys. She literally didn't stay in Toronto. Oh my God. The Toronto police showed up while the concert was going on to give out bracelets. I don't think you guys understand. There's probably a reason why Taylor Swift didn't stay in Toronto, because it's very dangerous. We have no good laws in Canada. Although she should have felt safe, because literally the entire police force was on her side tweeting about this after they moved the homeless encampments. Do you see this dystopian Hunger Games nightmare? That's what I compare this to. It's like the people defending it, I'm like, you realize you're defending Cesar Chavez or whatever the fuck his name was. That's probably not his name. That's probably the dog trainer. Caesar something from Hunger Games. The guy with the pink hair. So the gag is that Canadians, one of the many reasons why we can't afford to live right now is because we are punished for our carbon footprint. Do you guys understand that Taylor Swift is responsible for one of the largest carbon footprints because of her private jet use? I don't even know where she went after the Eras tour, but she probably got on her jet plane and went somewhere else. And we are changing street names, moving homeless people, which were there for the Billie Eilish concert, there for every other concert, okay? Only Taylor Swift got that treatment, and it was sick. There is this clip of this woman on the Toronto Council, and she did a whole entire speech about what they did for Taylor Swift and how excited they all are to see her. It's so dystopian. I literally shell-shocked when I watched it, okay? So Trudeau and her, okay, she is the reason why her carbon footprint's huge, okay? Trudeau punishes Canadians, rewards Taylor Swift by either going to her concert, okay, or paying to go to her concert, or, you know, just the appraisal and being there for brownie points to young people. Cheers her on, but puts Canadians into poverty. Oh, okay. Literally in a clip last week, he said that he doesn't care, like he knows people are in survival mode, but the climate comes before them. None of the green options that they do, by the way, are green and good for the environment. So yeah, that's the rhetoric that Justin Trudeau uses, and yet he's at, you know, climate terrorist #1 Taylor Swift's concert. I like Taylor Swift, okay? I don't hate on Swiftie. But you got to admit, she uses a lot of carbon footprint, all right? Oh my God, another thing they did was shut down the Gardner Expressway thing. Do you guys understand that's one of the busiest highways in the world? I don't think they did that for anybody else. It was literally like watching the Toronto Council talk about Taylor Swift coming to Toronto. You literally would think you were in a church, because I've been to a church, listening to them talk about Jesus Christ coming back from the dead. It was like, it's very uncomfortable to watch because at least a religion is a religion. This is just a pop star. Okay, it's very confusing. And I want to start off by saying just this. It was in my numbers, but I forgot to say it, that it's okay to be a part of a fandom. Absolutely. But like, my government shouldn't be part of a fandom. Okay, that's weird. That's unethical. It's not okay. We had plenty of celebrities come this summer, and not one of, like, Billie Eilish played 2 nights in Toronto, I believe. Not once did you guys do this for any other artist, which is good. Don't do it for Taylor Swift either. So with the side of all of us that don't like him, don't like that he went, there is a side that absolutely loves that he went. Okay, so let's get into that. So there was an entire side of the internet, I would say very young women, or I would say probably rich women, who are on my list, or just very lefties, saying things like he is the people's prime minister for going to this, that he's so down to earth, and that he's so cool. And I'm not kidding you. These are things that I saw. I gagged when I read them. I'm not even lying to you. I hate Trudeau so much that I gagged. Straight up gagged. Now, they're saying that they're happy that he took his daughter. Number one, Trudeau has only done things with his kids when he wants a photo op. Okay, and it's quite obvious to me that he was going there with his daughter, if that was even her. Like, her mom should have went with her. We are in such, like, I don't even think it would be safe for him to go there. I was surprised that he had no security around him, genuinely, because he was ballsy for going, because people like me exist that still go to, I don't still go to concerts, because he probably knows that the people who are really mad at him are poor because of the things and decisions that he's made. So he really risked it by knowing that there's probably no, like, I'm not a Swiftie, okay? I wouldn't spend that much money on a Taylor Swift concert. I don't even think I'd spend that much money on any concert, because what the hell? But you know what I mean? I understand fandom, so I think that it was a strategic move for him to go there. Because there are plenty of places he could have sat where nobody saw him. By the way, he could have easily had a box. He could have easily been somewhere where no one was, but he wanted to go, and he wanted to, because there's nothing more than liberals love than young people. They love to manipulate young people into thinking that they're the good guy. So, of course, he's going to be there in this culture to score some brownie points with Swifties. I will say the only people that I've seen that are on his side are people who could afford to go, because everybody who couldn't afford to go and who were scammed are really pissed off right now that he went, okay? A big reason they're saying that they're impressed with this is that he went with his daughter. Now, that's where I want to get into my own story, okay? As to why I'm personally pissed off at Justin Trudeau for going to this. What annoyed me the most when I saw it immediately, I'll let you guys know. It was the fact that the other day, my daughter asked me to go and see My Chemical Romance, and I looked up tickets, and wouldn't you know it, $500 each for shit seats. So that's like, you know what I mean? I grew up in a Canada where my single mom, like you guys, I was adopted at 16, and my mom and I, you know, we had a lot of rocky relationship. We're good now. But the one thing that my mom and I did to connect was go to concerts. And she was a single mom, and she could afford to take me to concerts in the economy that we lived in. And it wasn't that good. Like, we didn't have a lot of extra things. Like, we had no furniture in our house for a long time. And we still went to concerts because it was cheap enough, and my mom knew how much fun it was and how important it was. And I don't even live in a Canada where I can give that back to my own kids. And my husband makes a ton of money. My husband makes more than my mom did. And not because my mom didn't work hard, it's because she worked in Southern Ontario, and, you know, you can only get paid for a certain amount. I'm sure if she came up here, she'd get the exact same, but as my husband. But we're making good money, but when groceries are $800 a paycheck, how the fuck would I ever justify asking for that because that's the thing. Even if my mom couldn't afford it, I would ask my grandparents, like, to get it for me as a gift, like my birthday gift or something. How the fuck could I ever justify asking for $1,000 when I know how terrible the economy is and how bad, you know what I mean? It's not even just like, oh, you know, my grandma could give me some money to go to this concert for my birthday. No, people don't have thousands of dollars to just toss away anymore. I don't have that type of money. And it would mean so much to me. Do you know what it would mean for me to be able to take my daughter to a My Chemical Romance? I love My Chemical Romance. The Canada that we are experiencing right now is not a Canada that I recognize. Okay? And for Trudeau to be so fucking ignorant and be able to go there and be so privileged as he is, it's literally like a Marie Antoinette let them eat cake. Like, what's not clicking about this, okay? We cannot afford food. 2 million Canadians, if not more, have been at the food bank. we didn't have homeless encampments. We had homelessness, but it wasn't to the severity as it is now because people could get ahead way easier. I am personally just so fucking mad because a lot of the reason why I'm so poor too is, I guess I forgot to mention that people were getting scammed. And it's because I was scammed. And the police don't do anything about it. They just let Canadians get scammed, and I was scammed by someone who wasn't from here. And I don't hold that against all immigrants, obviously, at all. But it's just, like, annoying. You guys aren't going to go after people who are literally coming to this country and steal from us? And it just put me back, and I couldn't afford to do photography after that. And then I got scammed. Like, it's just... I am so unbelievably disappointed in this government and this country, and seeing Justin Trudeau have a good time. Well, the reality was that homeless encampments are being torn up, that people are starving, childhood poverty is at an all-time high, and it just felt just so out of fucking touch. And I understand being a Swiftie and going to these concerts, and you are allowed to do whatever you want with your hard-earned money. But he didn't earn any of the money that he's got. He's worth $42 million or something. Like, and we can't even search that because they don't want us to see it, and they can control the search engines. You guys, I don't understand how I immediately, like, there's two worlds where there are people who think this is so okay, and then there's the people who are like me, who are just so upset. And I understand that you guys don't understand why people are so upset about Trudeau, but I implore you to watch videos about how people's lives have just gone down the toilet and they have nothing left to lose. So they go on the internet and make videos and get their voices out there. And yeah, it was just watching the rich be richer it was annoying. And of course, I know, like I said, hypothetically, in any other year besides 2020 plus, I wouldn't care that he went. But he's destroyed our country. He doesn't get to do nice things. He shouldn't get to do nice things. He shouldn't reward the person who has such a huge carbon footprint, more than any families, while literally punishing families, Canadian fucking people, everybody, for their carbon usage. Give me a break. Give me a break. I don't want to live in this dystopian nightmare where we put people into poverty in the name of climate change and then reward those who use the most fucking emissions. I'm sorry. I like Taylor Swift. I do. But when we're being punished for our carbon footprint and he is rewarding her, not under my watch. So yeah, that was my video today. We're a laughing stock of the world, and it's so embarrassing to me. So please like, please subscribe. This is ridiculous. Canada's a joke. Have a good day. Bye.
I mean, this man should have known better. This was such a PR foul on his part, because he wasn't just at a Taylor Swift concert. He was living his best life at the Taylor Swift concert. And it's amazing that when truckers were protesting the vaccine, Justin was engaged enough to freeze their personal and corporate bank accounts. But when pro-Palestine and anti-Semites take to the streets and are destructive, he's too busy twerking at the Taylor concert. It's not a good look. And a lot of people are up in arms over it.